If you have Hashimoto's thyroid or other autoimmune condition, IBS, fatigue, and no one can tell you why, there's a gut infection that may be triggering this parasite Blastocystis hominis. And I'm going to tell you about a patient who I helped clear this blastoparasite in 3 months, and in the process resolve his high Hashimoto's and ANA antibodies, IBS, fatigue, insulin resistance, high blood pressure, and dropped 31 pounds of excess weight. If you find this information helpful, please like and subscribe so more people can see this video. My name is Dr. Tom Rofrano from the Natural Medicine Clinic in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and author of the FreeDiet. And one of my favorite patients over the last almost 40 years in practice is a 33-year-old man who came in with stomach issues he's had as long as he could remember: abdominal pain, gas, bloating, belching, constipation, diarrhea. He had fatigue, brain fog, was very overweight, and high blood pressure. I did lab testing and he was positive for Hashimoto's and autoimmune thyroid conditions, so he had high TPO, thyroid antibodies, also high ANA antibodies, which can indicate another autoimmune condition like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, or others. He had high glucose, above optimal insulin, indicating insulin resistance and prediabetes. To figure out what was causing his autoimmune condition, I did functional testing, and it showed he had gut infections. He had a parasite called Blastocystis hominis, which is a microscopic protozoan and can cause gut symptoms, skin reactions, autoimmune conditions. This can lead to leaky gut, which then makes the gut lining more permeable to food proteins and toxins, which can trigger an autoimmune reaction. So he was sensitive to gluten and other foods, had high levels of arsenic and mercury, and nutrient deficiencies of vitamin D, B12, magnesium, zinc, selenium, and others, and hormonal imbalance. He had adrenal dysfunction below optimal levels of cortisol. So having a gut infection, whether it's bacteria, yeast, or a parasite like blastocystis, can affect all these areas. I put him on an anti-inflammatory diet and the proper supplements, which I'll go over shortly. And the end result was, after just over 6 weeks, his blood test showed that his Hashimoto's antibody came down 80% to normal levels. His ANA autoimmune marker was normal. High glucose and insulin were optimal. His abdominal pain, bloating, gas, belching, diarrhea, constipation cleared up, and his fatigue and brain fog were better. At 3 months, he continued to improve. His thyroid TPO antibodies were still normal, now down 90%, continuing to feel better, and had dropped 31 pounds of excess weight. And at 6 months on the diet was down 38 pounds, and his blood pressure had dropped 36 points to normal. So how he did this is with a diet I call the FreeDiet. It's a diet I came up with years ago when I was dealing with my own autoimmune Hashimoto's and rheumatoid condition, IBS, fatigue, skin, and other health issues. With the FreeDiet, I was able to get better, and it's a diet that's free of not only gluten, but gluten, grain, sugar, yeast, dairy, eggs, soy, legumes, nightshades, processed foods, all those foods most commonly responsible for inflammation, gut, thyroid, and other chronic health issues. If you'd like a copy of the FreeDiet Phase 1 food chart, we'd be happy to send that to you. I'll put a link below, and I'll put a video at the end of this one that goes into the FreeDiet in more detail. And then the proper supplements included the Functional 5, which is multi-fish oil, vitamin D with K, magnesium probiotic, a group of supplements I now call Blastopack, which helps support gut health in those with blasto, like I personally had years ago when I was dealing with Hashimoto's. Blastocystis hominis was one of my root causes, and I was able to figure out what worked and what didn't. So now it's a much simpler process, and others. I'll put details in the description below if you're interested. So with that, he was able to clear up his gut and autoimmune issues, get to his ideal weight and blood pressure, and feel like a new person. So if you want to clear up your gut, thyroid, or other chronic health issue, it's important to get the proper testing first and the proper interpretation, because if you find out the root causes and are provided the right solutions, I believe almost anyone can get better. Thanks for joining me today. I'll put a video that goes into the FreeDiet in more detail here, the FreeDiet Phase 1 food chart below. Feel free to like and subscribe so more people can see this video, and I'll see you next time.